City 1051 FM.
How are you?
Okay, I'm doing fantastic. So now, the first time that I think I saw a video of you performing in Nigeria.
Okay.
That was in 2014.
2014?
Yes, that was at the Afropolitan Vibe.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first time you performed in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yes, and 5 years later, you're still doing music and you're still going across Nigeria.
Mhm.
And now you're taking it out of Nigeria to performing. How does it make you feel? Because, staying relevant, doing music year in, year out, is not the easiest thing to do. We have artists who come through, and before you know, you can't find them anymore, but you're still here.
Yeah, I think when you are unique and people know that when they come to see you perform or they listen to the music, you're getting something unique. That's what brings people coming back.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and I'm just grateful to do what I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Falana, speaking about doing music or doing something that is different, you've made mention in the past that people that you look up to when it comes to music in Nigeria, you've made mention of Kobams, you've made mention of Sheun Kuti.
The Jadu Sisters, actually, William Oyebo as well. Everyone says Fela, but, certain artists that always influence you. But I also think I'm influenced, like, if you're familiar with Duke Ellington, Etta James, then there's Amy Winehouse, Lauryn Hill, and there's Florence and the Machine, there's Bjork. I have a lot of different influences, and my music is really trying to take, old school, like what was hot in the 70s, high life, like the names that I named, and bringing it into the new school. So, for example, Ride or Die, Give It To You, I produced the project, the Chapter 1 project. I produced by myself and wrote the songs, minus one song. And I just really wanted to, like, where the old meets the new, and, like, for example, Ride or Die was shot at National Theatre, which is a beautiful landmark that we just overlook.
We really overlook
Festac
Nigeria.
77, for anybody who knows Festac, I mean, this is a history lesson. Festac 77 was one of the biggest festivals that we had. Stevie Wonder came down. People came from all across the world to celebrate music and culture and arts. And National Theatre was one of the, let's say, the hubs. One of the hubs, the cultural hubs.
Okay.
Kool and the Gang has performed at National Theatre. KSA has been to National Theatre a million times. So it's a really beautiful space. So I wanted to just really do that with my music and, just kind of get people to remember all the beautiful stuff
That we
we
overlook
have
in Nigeria.
in the culture.
Okay, so you're very intentional. Well, I can tell when I see your visuals, when I see you perform, obviously you're very intentional about your sound. You're intentional about what you put out as an artist, and that was really taking off.
No,
it's just something that you can easily do. Like it's not like
for me,
you don't
it's
stress
just
to do
be
it.
yourself. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. And I think you talked about me, like, staying relevant. Like, I make decisions about my music, not out of fear of relevance. It's about messaging. It's about, creative, staying, like, creative and staying, just true to yourself. I think at the end of the day, authenticity is what lasts longer. You can try and pretend to be somebody else, but you won't stay that long. It's easier to be yourself. So it's not anything premeditated. It's just like, even down to my hair. People ask me your hair. I'm just like, my hair has never been straightforward anyway. So I'm just really being myself, And I think that's what brings people back to my live performance, because when I did, for example, we talked off air about Falana Uncovered. I hadn't released any music, and people were still coming to my show. So it's like, what is that telling you? That, like, there's something that they're experiencing.
So what did you perform at the time when you didn't have any songs?
No, I have lots of songs. Just because I haven't released it doesn't mean the song doesn't exist.
So people came to watch what you've not released. How did they have access to the songs?
What do you mean? They came to a concert.
Yeah.
I was on stage, and they were the first people to hear the song. So people heard songs before they were even released.
Oh, so how
Which
did you?
is very common, because Fela used to play new material every single week that he was performing.
Okay.
So it's a really cool way as an artist to be like, okay, see how this song fits. Sometimes you're on stage and an idea will come to your mind, like a riff while you're on stage, and you're like, you know what, I like that. Let's put it on the record.
So if I absolutely understand what you're trying to say. So if you're coming to, let's take for example the Falana on Center. Uncovered. That's the concert you did before in 2016. Before you plan to do this one now. So how do you communicate with your fans when it comes to this music thing? So you know how. Take for example, a known artist in Nigeria wants to perform or wants to organize a concert. Usually we have artists in Nigeria trying to, having a concert in December, and before December they'll put in all the work and ensure that they have hit songs back to back to back. So when they want to do those concerts, their fans know, okay, so I'm going to watch this person perform those songs.
Can I ask you a question? If one of those artists that you named decided to do a concert,
I didn't name any.
no, I'm just saying if any of the, okay, you didn't name anyone. If one of the artists that you described, better said, okay, or even an artist that you like, that you personally like, said they were doing a concert and they were going to perform music that they have not released yet.
Yeah.
That to me is exciting.
Very exciting.
You know what I mean? And like, if the songs are good, whether or not you know them or not, you'll be able to identify with the song. So I think having, you know, songs always out, like I said, some of the songs on this project and the album that I'm working on, I've performed on stage before. So people will be like, I remember I was there.
Yeah.
I was there when this song came to, when this song was birthed. I was there when
that
she
is
performed
for
it.
this new concert.
For all performances, like
Okay.
lots of artists perform songs that they haven't officially released.
Yes,
yet.
yes.
That's very like normal, you know what I mean? So I think also too, when you like to perform, you bring people into like your world on stage, you know? Obviously if people know the song, it's cool as
Yes,
well.
because
some
you're gonna
people
have them singing along.
Yeah, so people know some of my songs as well. Like, and then when we did Fallen on Cover, people just kept coming back. So they're learning songs as well.
Okay.
So I think there's like music. There's no blueprint.
There's no
Every
blueprint.
artist is different.
Yep.
So and everyone connects with artists in different ways.
Different ways.
Yeah.
So basically, for you to be able to do that as an artist, like, okay, say so I want to do a concert and I'm going to, I'm going to perform unreleased songs, and your fans come through. That is, they actually believe in you and believe in it, and then you do good music. Because I promise you, if some artists in Nigeria,
That was a no shade cough.
if some artists in Nigeria should come today to say, oh, so I'm going to have a concert and I'm going to perform unreleased songs, I ain't going to be there. Because I don't trust you enough to
Well,
do
then
this
again,
kind of song.
well that
I need to see your discography.
that also speaks to the kind of performer that I am.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So people know
That you're gonna
when
come
they
through.
there's no one that used to say if you come to a Falana concert that they'll be disappointed. Even without knowing any of the songs, you will come, and that's how you also bring on new fans.
That's how you
People who have never, because you can go to a show, a festival, someone you have never seen before, but they're good,
Really good.
Do you understand? And that's the thing about also live performance. That also gives you longevity of career. Like you know, back in the day, these guys, like they were on stages for hours performing, and people just loved what they were experiencing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and like I said, every artist is different. So
okay, so now you spoke about loving to perform live on stage, and when you say you perform live on stage, so definitely you're gonna have your band, you're gonna have you're gonna have
I mix it up because I play different instruments. So I play guitar, I play cajon, a drum that I sing, and I also play keys, but I usually don't play keys when I'm performing.
Okay.
Because I like to move around. So it's a full experience from if I break it down and strip a song down to guitar, or I do it percussively, or I have my band. It's always a creative experience.
So every time, take for example, I am a show promoter and I want to have Falana, I want to book you for a show. So every time I have you as an artist come play at my show, are you always going to perform with all of these things that you just made mention of? Do you always or do you sometimes have the DJ play my music sessions or DJ play my music kind of show?
No, I've never played with the track. So for example, shout out to Matthew Ohio who brought me out to Abuja to open for Wizkid. And I was like, okay, strip down set. So I did guitar and cajon. If I opened for Runtown in Paris, that was my guitar and a bass player and cajon. If I do a show in Lagos, I can do my full band. I can also do a show. I did a show with Global Citizen in Abuja for World Water Day, and that was just my guitar. So it just depends. But that's just because of the artist that I am. I remember when I started out, I wanted to be able to be flexible because I didn't want to say, you know, even like a lot of artists, oh man, if I don't have a producer, I can't make music. If I don't have a producer, I can't express myself. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, let me make sure I know how to play instruments. So if you call me to sing right now, if you brought me to, learn how to produce, which I do know how to do, let me sit down here and play a song for you. I can play a song by myself.
You can play a song, don't worry. Did you call me that?
No, I didn't bring my, you didn't tell me now. I would have brought my guitar.
What?
I would have brought my guitar.
Oh God. Okay.
But you know what? If you come to the show on Friday, plug, you can see me perform.
It's still plug.
And I'll shout you out now. This song I dedicate to.
Okay.
But you have to come to the show.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to get that. So let's talk about your show happening on Friday.
Yeah, so it's Taking Place at Terra Culture. It's a chapter 1 tour, and we're going to more cities. So we're doing Lagos launching tomorrow. If you're in Accra on the 24th, we'll be in Accra in association with Charlie Wate, which is a huge festival in Accra every year. Arts and street festival music. It's going to be amazing. And there's some other artists who are going to be there as well from Nigeria. Shout outs to, for example, Good Girl LA, will be there as well.
On Friday?
On 24th.
That's the
in
one
Ghana.
In Ghana. Okay.
Tomorrow is Terra Culture.
Okay.
Then we're going to Kigali in Rwanda. That's on the 31st. And then we close in Abuja on September 6th. So it's just
So
fun.
4
4 dates.
4 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then usually what happens is dates tack on. So I trust the process and I trust God. So you'll see how dates will I'll just be like, hey, Kenya, Nairobi, bam.
You just include
Yeah.
that. You just
Cape Town.
Okay.
And but we'll see. It should be good. Even with the 4 cities, I'm excited.
You're excited.
I'm always excited to be on stage.
Okay, so you spoke about Good Girl Ellie coming through for one of
Yeah.
your shows.
Yeah. No. She's gonna be at Charlie Wate as
Okay,
well.
okay,
So we're not
okay.
performing on the same
On
stage.
the
So
same
I'm just saying, if you're coming to Accra, just so people, I like to show support for other artists.
Oh, that is
And
really
also
nice.
other
So you're
female
plugging in Good
Yeah,
Girl
I'll
Ellie's
plug
event.
everybody. I'll plug in
That is so
everybody. For me,
good.
it's not about I do what I do. People will come to my show. I'll do. No one is I believe in showing love and support.
That is really nice.
So I'm not here to.
So speaking about showing support and loving other artists and just being there for them and everything, how much support have you gotten as an artist doing music in Nigeria?
From other artists?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think I've gotten amazing support. Like I said, I opened for Runtown was really cool in Paris. This show was really fun. And I always people always ask me, are you related to Faust? And I will say no. So I always have this inside joke. Like you just in the industry, like people, when you're good at what you do, people will respect what you do.
Yeah.
And then across, like I can name like Show Them Camp, shout out to them. They're doing really amazing stuff, and they've been in this industry for
For
a
a
while.
minute.
What they're building, and they have a really strong
They do.
following. And I was on Palm Wine Volume 2 with them.
Yes,
Shout out to them.
yes.
Yeah.
That
In the
song.
garden,
Garden, yes. So then come featuring Falana.
Everything was
I know the song.
perfect in between. Shout out to Show Them Camp. There's just so many amazing artists who are doing amazing things, so we just try and support ourselves as best as we can. Yeah, that is your question. I don't know.
Yeah. You did.
I don't
That's
want me to
fine.
list all the artists.
No, of course you can't do that. Okay, so aside from you organizing the concert, the Chapter 1 concert in 2019, and choosing cities and doing music, what else are you doing in 2019?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I have like 30 songs just sitting on my laptop. I'm just not, like you said, constantly putting out. I'm like, I'll take my time when the songs are ready. Putting those out. I have a lot of shows coming up, but we're focusing right now on the Chapter 1, to perform. And then that's basically it. Writing a lot, performing, writing. That's my reading books.
Reading books.
I'm a nerd. That's what I do.
So what book are you reading right now?
Becoming by Michelle Obama.
So I started reading that book and I just stopped reading it.
You stopped?
Yeah.
Okay. Another book that I'm reading this is really, really cheesy. Are you ready for my cheesy book?
Oh, please.
Nonviolent Communication.
Why is that cheesy? I don't know.
Some
the
people
book.
think I'm busy. I'm cheesy. Do you know? I think this is.
Is it like a romantic book?
It's not a romantic book at all. It's literally teaching you how to communicate nonviolently.
Okay.
Which I think
So
is
why is that
important
cheesy?
because, some people might think, Fana is communicating now.
Fake deep.
Do you
She's
understand?
fake deeping.
Fake deep. Put on fake deep. No, that's that. Every time I'm like, no, I'm being myself, right? So those are the books that I'm reading at the moment.
Okay. So.
And then there's books that I also reread.
Okay.
So Secret
Which one
Lives of
have you
Baba
read,
Shagi's
like-
Wife. Oh my god, I love that book.
So which book have you read like the most?
The most.
Yes, like you've read this book over and over and over again. You keep going back to it.
Well, I was shouting out Secret Lives
Yes.
of Baba Shagi's Wives by.
Oh,
Dr.
that
Baba
one.
Shagi. I love that book. Man.
Why do you love the book?
Because it's like it captures Yoruba culture in a
Very unique way. Yes.
It's also dramatic. It also touches a lot of cultural issues that we have, whether it's around like our perspective of marriage,
Yeah.
consent, and consent. We have this has been something that's been in the news, like sexual consent.
Yes. We never talk about it.
Yeah, we never talk about that's taboo. And this book is not like it's
It's not
always
basic.
relevant.
It's always relevant.
It's always relevant. She's a beautiful writer, so it's very easy to understand. It doesn't matter what kind of books you like to read, and it's just entertaining. The characters are just so they come alive, And like I said, it captures Yoruba culture very, very well. So I love that book. Or like we're talking about literature now. We're on a Tuesday. Come to the concert on Friday.
That is Nathan's book.
Nathan John. Yeah, I love that book as well. So
Okay. So you
That's
spoke
what
about Yoruba culture and books,
Yeah.
showing us talking about Yoruba culture.
Yeah. And I won't talk this much on stage. Well, I do sometimes, but at the end of the day, I like to let the music speak for itself.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So yeah.
So back to my question.
What's your question?
Thank you. So speaking about Yoruba culture, how do I put it now? So so you have like foreign influence when it comes to your music, when it comes to your exposure. So do you also ensure that you're Yoruba? I think you're actually named Falana. Okay, so how intentional are you about talking about or inculcating Yoruba culture in your music?
Yeah.
Or do you just feel like for my foreign exposure, I can just read Yoruba culture?
No, I would never have that. Cause I put it like this: what you make, they say you are what you eat. You are you consume. Like I'm very aware. Like Ride or Die. If you listen, even musically, you'll hear a lot of the references. Like the way KSA used to play guitar riffs, or even the rhythm. You know what I mean? So there's so many different ways to incorporate it into your music. Singing different languages. Like for example, I also speak Spanish and French. And people are like, when will you record your Yoruba song? I'm like, okay, they don't know that we've been here since with time. You know what I mean? So I'm very intentional. I'm not someone
overly intentional.
Not overly intentional, but I mean like I'm not the kind of person that will just push anything to
sound foreign or bougie.
No, I'm just being myself at the end of the day. So if myself works for someone, it does. If it doesn't work for someone, you know what I mean? Like you have to be yourself. But I definitely you are what you eat. So it's not like I didn't grow up in a bubble, and I'm not aware of all my
your culture,
where I'm from. And yeah, exactly.
So let's just talk about your music. Let's describe your music for a minute. I think I remember reading an interview that you spoke about when it comes to your music, you're not very particular about describing it, or you said something about not even knowing your type of music. Like, so in your words, I just want to do music, and you can interpret it however you want. That was back in 2017 or 16.
I love it.
So this is like 4 years after. So I want to ask you now, do
now.
you know your music?
Well, I think any artist you listen to, they evolve over time. So you listen to their first record, and you listen to that record, it doesn't sound the same. I think because I have so many different influences, and they come together, I feel like when you hear my song, it sounds like me.
How do I know who you are if I'm
I'm saying we're talking about sound. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
When you hear, for example, we'll listen to Naija artists. When you hear Simi Sing, you know that it's Simi.
Yes, of course.
Do you understand? So there are certain when I say you know that it's someone, you can tell.
They have a sound. They have a style.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And sometimes that comes through in different ways. Even an artist can write a song, and they didn't even sing it.
Yes, but you know that
who wrote it.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm talking about a sound that you have. So I don't you just let yourself kind of evolve. People will say, okay, this you can now see. There will be consistency. Like this artist, I can tell that it's her sound.
Okay.
Because my music sounds, even when I perform, it sounds a certain way. Okay. My voice also sounds a certain way. And when you hear me speak or you hear me sing, you know what I mean. So
yeah, it does actually.
So
that is not the question. So now do you have no.
Do I have in words to describe my music?
Exactly.
That's the question.
So now if you do you ever now in 2019 do you think you're ready or you're at that point in your music career where you can put your music in a certain
genre?
Yeah, so this is my type, not necessarily genre, but can you describe it more now? But still back then you were not interested in describing your music.
Yeah, because I think when you describe your music, sometimes you limit yourself. Like there's some people I can think of example let's use a contemporary example. Ed Sheeran just released an album with how many different collaborations?
Yes.
On the same album, you'll have something that sounds more very poppy in the production, something that sounds
very R&B,
and you
just who is Ed Sheeran?
But you still hear his voice and you still hear his songwriting.
Yes.
So sometimes saying this is what I do can be limiting. What I also found is that because when I'm on stage and people listen to my music, they can be like, I don't know, they can't put their finger on it. It's like really, truly.
What type of song is this?
What kind of genre? Because it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. And to me, that's also beautiful.
And it's a mixture of everything.
And I'm like, I can hear jazz, but it's not jazz. I can hear Afrobeat, but it's not Afrobeat.
I can hear
soul, but it's
highlife.
not soul. I can hear highlife, but it's not highlife. So what is it? And it's Falana now. That's how she does. She does so I don't stress myself about genre.
So
I also write in a very pop way, but the production is not always very pop. So it's just and my influences are so different. So for me, like I said, I don't stress myself about I am this genre.
You tell me
I
what
think
you
it's
think.
it's like a blend
of everything.
You know, like all of a sudden, like people say alternative soul, Afrobeats. That's what I've been hearing now. I'm like,
what is that?
That's what I'm saying. Do you understand? So you now have all these different, but one thing I know that there is consistency. You will listen to chapter 1. There's consistency. Not like it's up and down
or scattered.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, sometimes when people ask about this genre or ask you about your music as an artist and say, okay, so I want you to tell me what you do, it's because they feel like if you do not
City 1051 FM.